herb is not used nearly enough in modern hip-hop. It used to get used a lot as a way to call a guy like a clown or a jerk or a nerd, and just it kind of fell off in the last couple of years. I like to see it come back. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know where it came from, like why they picked the name Herb instead of, I don't know, Bill or Larry or Hank, but they went with Herb, and I like to see it come back. A lot of people would argue that there's been way too many references to Keith Sweat over the years. You know, my name's not Keith, so don't sweat me. When I step on stage, girls sweat me like I'm Keith. I say, not enough. We need more Keith Sweat lines. Word is bond is not used anymore, mainly because all rappers are lying about how much money they have, about their past, about their girlfriends, about everything else. So the idea of anyone's word being bond has been completely thrown out the window in the last couple of years. But let's be honest, back in the day, you could say word is or word to anything, and it pretty much worked. Word to Questlove's Afro Pig. Word to Ice Cube being the most dangerous man in America. Word to Diggity Das Effects. Word to the Star Wars prequels. Word to Lois Lane. Word to Eggo Waffles. Word to Captain Crunch. Word to pretty much all breakfast foods. Word to getting at least 30 minutes of cardio 3 times a week. Word to Reebok Pumps. Word to FifthRoundMovement.com. And then Vanilla Ice came along and just completely went over the top with word to your mother, which for some reason was like, I'm telling the truth and I'm going to disrespect your mother at the same time. And in that, 2 seconds of lyrics, Vanilla Ice just completely killed a word to anything or word is bond in hip hop. Bozak is slang term for a scrotum. I don't think it gets used nearly enough anymore. Back in the days, you could you tell someone to lick your Bozak, you could have someone swinging from your Bozak, you could do like EPMD and make a whole song called Get the Bozak, which obviously was years before, but if any song ever needed a pause or a no homo after the title, it was EPMD's Get the Bozak. And then a couple years ago, Jadakiss tried to bring it back when he said, she's so fine, she makes me want to wild out and grab my Bozak. But he never really gets into if he actually grabs his Bozak or if he just wanted to grab his Bozak. But I think we need to bring it back, and we need more Bozaks in hip-hop. The most underused term in hip-hop is definitely jibs. And I say that because up until a couple months ago, I didn't know what it meant. I thought it meant lady parts. Because the only 2 times I heard it was Remy Ma and Hot 97 talking about video vixens and say, don't people know these girls like guys busting they jibs? Makes sense. And then I heard Eminem say about Mariah Carey when he said, don't go opening your jibs. Also works. However, I learned earlier this summer in Prodigy's Mind from His Life that jibs in fact mean teeth, because he tells a story about when he was younger, people used to call him Rat Boy, and he needed $20,000 worth of dental work that he could not afford until 50 cents on the G-Unit Records a full decade after he became a rapper. And then he ends off this chapter with, if you ever come into some money, my advice to you is definitely get your jibs fixed, which is pretty sound dental advice from the guy that made Shook Ones. Who knew?